Phillip, 1738 to 1814, Commander of the First Fleet and First Governor of New South Wales, Founding Father of Sydney, New South Wales and Australia.
Life has its twists and turns. Despite our best plans, we all have to adapt to the winds of change. Although a sailor for most of life, my major challenge came on the land. Indeed, it was a land far from home, in a place called New South Wales. A place that had been inhabited for thousands of years by Aboriginal tribes. My task was to lead convicts, Marines and officers to form a new colony. That colony at Sydney, Australia, was the start of a great new country. It was my honor to be appointed governor, civil and military leader. You may ask what training and experience I had for the role. What started as a traditional approach changed with the circumstances. At the age of 13, I went to a school for the sons of seamen. No doubt it was my mother who influenced the decision. Her first husband, Captain Herbert of the Royal Navy, had died. She remarried, but kept in touch with his naval connections. My father was a language teacher from Germany. The Navy connections enabled me to gain an education. It was a decision that defined my life. Following an apprenticeship, I served in the 7 Years' War. It was a bitter battle between Britain and most countries in Europe. The battles against the French, in particular, were successful. The Spanish also were subdued. Britain emerged as the dominant colonial power. His Majesty's Navy ruled the waves. I was proud to have served my king and country. The war concluded in 1763. I was a lieutenant and retired on half pay. Still only 25, I looked for work and new friends. Little did I realize that I would fall in love. At a social function, I met Margaret Dennison. She was the widow of a rich merchant. We enjoyed each other's company and married. It led me into considerable work managing business matters. She had inherited her previous husband's businesses and estates. However, it was not long before problems arrived. She found fault in me and my ways, and I in hers. By 1769, we had parted company, but did not divorce. It was time for me to leave England for a while. By 1774, I was serving in the Portuguese fleet, transporting convicts from Lisbon to Brazil. Sailing in South American waters for long periods was hard. Fighting the Spanish was part of the job. All good experience for my return to the British Navy. In 1778, I did that, and 3 years later was appointed as a captain. First, in command of the Ariadne, then in 1782 on HMS Europe. We set sail for India, but the real battles were in America. The colonists had revolted and declared their independence. The peace treaty meant that the Navy did not need so many people. In 1784, I was again retired on half pay. It was time again to review and plan my future. For 6 months, I went to the south of France. A pleasant place where the weather was kinder than England. Then I received a message to return to London. What greeted me was a major surprise. I was asked to captain a ship bound for New South Wales. The mission was to take convicts and set up a prison colony. "Is it an appropriate place?" I asked. Lord Sydney replied, that a report on the place had been written. He handed me a document prepared by James Maria Matra. "This gentleman sailed with Captain Cook and knows the place," he said. The report praised Botany Bay as a location for both convicts and colonists. Sir Joseph Banks, the botanist, had also talked with King George III about it. Banks visited Botany Bay with Cook and Matra in 1770. He was a friend of King George, who accepted his recommendation. The politicians also needed a solution to resolve the prison crisis. Too many convicts were incarcerated on boats on the River Thames. Therefore, Lord Sydney, having consulted colleagues, made the decision. He asked me to lead a fleet of 11 ships to the new land. "It is a great honor," I said, in accepting the commission. I was nominated as Captain of the Sirius. Also, I was named Governor-Designate of New South Wales, a territory over 10,000 miles away, about which we knew little. My time was given over to managing the many details. It was a voyage to the other end of the earth. The destination was but a speck on a rough map. No white man had ever lived there. I arrived only just before the others on January 19th. It had taken us 252 days, but I was in for a shock. Botany Bay was not what I had been led to believe. Fresh water was scarce, and the soil for crops was poor. The aboriginal population, the Eora, watched and waited. No doubt we looked like men from a different world. 2 days later,